Well, I think just for the guys, you got to be mentally ready to play. You can't just think because you're playing at home you're gonna, be able to win the game. The last 2 years it didn't happen, and that's my big thing. To come, Barry just talked about it. Be prepared. Got to be who we are and make sure we're good at it. We got to, it's executing on offense, it's executing on defense, the things that we do well, and then you got to do it, for 40 minutes because they'll keep coming at you. They have a great ability of finding a way to win close games. So it's, that's kind of the challenge. We were really good Saturday. Obviously, it helps make shots, but on both ends of the court, we executed and did the things that we practice and that we're good at.
Probably haven't had a chance to see this yet because Coach Self just said it, but Marcus Garrett is out tomorrow. How much of an impact is that for you in your planning?
He also said earlier in the year that they feel very uncomfortable when they don't have him on the court. So obviously, he's, Lawson's really good. The point guard's really good. Vic is really good. But he was the guy that, he likes toughness, guys that know how to play, know how to do things. And he was kind of that X factor guy. Now they've still, they still got other good players. So it's just a different challenge for us, depending who steps up for them. I think a big key will be how do the other players play. The guys I mentioned for them, it's Barry, Dean, Cam, X for us. You hope they play well, but now what do the other guys do? And that, to me, that could how the game could come down to that.
How much of a problem do you think in the past has been just being too tight for this game against Kansas here at Bramlage?
I'm not sure. I'm sure it's happened. I thought when I first got here, the group we had, Kansas has been a really good team. I mean, it's not like we sit in the office and talk about it. Last year, a lot of those guys were playing in the NBA. The year before, a lot of those guys played in the NBA. It's not that they're really good. They beat a lot of people on the road. But I thought when I first got here, I thought our guys, I'm not sure they believed they could beat them, and I thought maybe we were a little tight. I'm not sure if last year we were too loose, to be honest. And I even talked about how, that they go on the road and they play at a high level. Now they've had a little more inconsistency this year on the road because they're younger and they're newer. And, but his teams, Coach Self's teams, take a lot of pride in toughness. They take a lot of pride in winning close games, making the right plays at the right time. And that's what we still got to approach the game like they're a special team, and they are. They've already beaten Tennessee, who's #1 in the country. They've beaten Marquette, who we didn't beat. So they just beat Texas Tech by a bunch, and scored a bunch of points against one of the best defensive teams. So they're a good team, and then we have to have a great mindset. Our 15 guys in the locker room have to have great preparation, they have great focus, and they got to go out there and execute what we do well.
Team, how much do you have to worry about seeing different defensive looks like a triangle and two?
Last year if he joked and jest or whatever, he said I couldn't stop Dean. And if you go back and watch the tape, I watched it last night. Dean started slow actually, and they jumped on us, and then he made 5, 6, 7 in a row. I don't even know what it was, and then they had no choice but to go zone, and I don't know if it surprised us, got us stagnant. We didn't do a good job attacking it. We cut it to 4, I think. And then the second half, it kind of went back and forth, and we just couldn't, get over the hump against them and made some defensive mistakes. And then they went zone at the end again. We got a little stagnant and didn't. Yeah, so they could throw zone in if they'll play triangle or 2 at a time. They played a couple of possessions against Kentucky. I'm not sure Kentucky even knew they were in it, but if you really watch the tape, you kind of see it, and I know he's played it in the past. So, you got to anticipate and prepare for all those things.
Coach,
along the lines of asked about being tight in these games, how do you balance getting this team excited to play their rival and being in first place in the league against just reminding them it is just another basketball team?
They're a good team. We played good teams. We played good teams on the road. It's the same preparation. You hope it's your older guys that are the leaders, the ones that are bringing the good focus, talking the right thing, preparing themselves. And a lot of it is, if we got Barry and Dean playing at a high level, it makes it easier on a lot of other guys. So, there's a lot of big games left. You get through this one, and Saturday's another big one, and then on down the road, whatever coming up. So, but it's important because right now it is the biggest game of the year right now because we can stay in first place. We're playing a really good team. I don't know what they're going to be ranked this week, but it's a quality team that we're battling for, to stay up at the top of the league.
Aside from Pearson, Dean is the one Kansas guy on the roster. Does this game mean something special to Dean? Maybe just
I'm sure it does. I mean, he grew up. I grew up watching. Wisconsin Marquette all my life. That you watch all the games. It's got to mean something. I hope it does. And I know you always hear the football guys talk about, how important it is for the Kansas kids when they play Kansas. So it's your rivalry school, and Dean has played well the last couple of years against them. We just haven't found a way to beat them. So I'm sure. I hope they take great pride and. Come to play at a high level, not only this one, but every game coming up through the rest of the season.
And then last year you said after the game that you weren't prepared at all for KU to play a zone against you guys. How confident are you that they're going to throw that at you?
That's the ironic thing. You guys watch basketball all the time. Do you think we never do zone offense all year? That's the thing. I mean, I just kind of ingest. We'd run zone offense from the first day of practice. So, I just kind of laugh at, you guys take quotes and you just go and go and go. It's just, now, did we execute very well? No, we did not execute very well. And, had they played any zone? No, they hadn't played any zone. So we just didn't do a good job of going against it. It's something, it's whether it's Texas A&M or Tulsa or whatever. But then there's other games we carve up zones. So it's just... you at this point in the season, you hope you're ready to go against everything. Now, people throw in a triangle of two. We haven't gone against that. Now, do we have a couple gimmicks to go against that?
On the defensive side, does it take a group effort against Diedrich, or can you put one-on-one against him?
I think he's really good, and he's kind of old school. It reminds me of Bob Boozer, guys like that. But the old school power forwards, great hands, great feet, great instincts. If you give him some space, he can score. And it's gonna obviously we got to fight him in the post and make it tough on him, make it tough on catches. But then we got to be there to help too, and not just rely on one guy to stop him.